Hey, Noah here. I got a NanoVNA recently, and I was playing around with it with VNA capture, and I just ran across some findings with a Nagoya NA-771 clone antenna that I wanted to run through. Kind of warn people away from it, but for a baseline, I've got my Baofeng Rubber Ducky antenna, and then we'll go through the Viswar of both of these Nagoya clones. So, just to orient you really quick, these gray bands are my 2 meter and 70 centimeter ham bands. So this one right here is right smack dab between 144 and 148 megahertz. And then this one up here is your 420 to 450 megahertz. On the bottom, you have your frequency, and then on the left-hand side, you have your Viswar. So very quickly, you can see that the Rubber Ducky antenna is fairly well tuned for these bands. You've got a nice low dip right here in the ham band. As you get into the band, it's a little high here at about 2, but it gets down to about 1.35 towards your upper ham band, or your upper 2 meter band rather. So that's pretty decent. That's acceptable. The middle, obviously, there's no real tuning here. You have a super high point right here around 240, maybe 250. Gets a little bit lower here, but again, you're at 4.5 to 5 range. And then as you get into the 70 centimeter ham band, you have a nice curve right here. You're 2.1-ish here, all the way down to about 1.4 all the way through. So it's acceptable. It's not the best antenna. There are definitely antennas that are matched better, but you can see it performs pretty well. So I have two identical NA-771 clones. I found out they were clones when they came in the orange packaging and not the green packaging that Nagoya sends it with. But you can see right off the bat that this performance is absolutely atrocious. Even the low point here, the dip, is still at a 4.21 Viswar. So that's just an absolutely atrocious performance. Up here, it's completely unusable in the VHF bands. So similarly, this one's a little bit more usable. Compared to the last one, you can see it's very high. Number 2 is a little more usable, but again, I mean, you're still risking transmitter damage if you're transmitting at high powers for long periods, just because of the absurdly high SWR of this thing. So anyway, I would advise that you go with a legit Nagoya. I don't have one to compare it with, and I don't have my regular antenna to compare with. I didn't take screen caps of that, but you can see pretty quick your Rubber Ducky antenna does pretty well when you stack it up compared to just some random stainless steel springs and a SMA connector. So anyway, invest your money in something high quality. Don't buy these off-brand antennas if you don't want to burn your radio up.